What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Strictly Casual. Today, we are going to be ranking the top 10 best duos in movie, TV, and see where they stack among us. And we are so stoked to be joined today by Co-op Comedy. What's up, guys? Can you guys introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Robert?
What's up, everybody? My name is Robert Highwin, one half of Co-op Comedy. Used to stream, no longer do that because of baby.
What's up? I'm Chris, or Robo. I'm the other half of Co-op Comedy. I do still stream, twitch.tv/RoboDessert, all kinds of stuff over there. But Co-op Comedy, we play games, make jokes, do list videos, all kinds of good stuff over on youtube.com/Co-op Comedy.
Fantastic. So for today's video, we're going to be, of course, ranking the best duos/tag teams in movies or TV. And then we're going to be ranking them in a top 10 kind of list that the five of us are comprising. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started with James. Who's your first duo that you brought for us today?
All right, the first duo I got lined up is a classic. Many of you know him, but it's kind of like an unsung hero, you know? You don't think of them, they come to mind when you think of the most riveting, you know what, I'll just put it out there. Bert and Ernie, baby.
Oh!
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
From Sesame Street.
Bert and Ernie. Tell me why. Tell me why.
Think about it. They're roommates. They have a ambiguous relationship. You don't know the state of their relationship, but all that matters is they're just two guys who love living together. It's a great dichotomy if you have roommates a lot. If you've had roommates before, there's that experience you can relate to with them. But also, if you're a youngin', if you never had roommates before, they're just two funny guys.
I personally love their names. They're just fun to say, too.
They are fun to say.
Yeah.
It's great.
Are these the Muppets or these are Sesame Street? I know it's
No, these are
stupid to
Sesame
ask.
Street.
I know.
Just for that.
Come on.
Cancel the
Ryan.
video.
I know.
We gotta run it back.
This is Sesame Street, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, Robert, you also cancel it.
I've never watched Sesame Street or Muppets growing up.
See, there we go. Okay,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you. We can relate.
I'm a foreigner, man. I don't know.
Okay, so Bert and Ernie takes number 1 on the list so far, right? There's nothing
else.
fighting it.
Yeah.
For the top spot.
Imagine if I didn't throw it at number 1. I was like, you know what? They're great, but they're not the best.
No.
Let's be real, they're a solid
Solid.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of going old school again, but I grew up watching this show, and I got to go with Chandler and Joey from Friends.
That's a good one.
I watched a
Okay.
ton of Friends growing up. I watched the reruns. I watched the episodes over and over again. It was one of those things like no matter if it was on, I had it. I was watching it. I loved the friendships they all had, the silly shenanigans they would all get into. I especially gravitated towards Chandler and his weird like jokes and his like very like raw sarcasm. And obviously he's like the funny one, and you know me being funny guy. That's like naturally who I am.
Self-proclaimed.
This guy
funny
thinks he's
guy.
funny.
Funny guy, trademarked. So like I naturally just gravitated towards him. He was my favorite, and his relationship with Joey being like one like super sarcastic and one kind of like ditzy, but like handsome, and the funny guy's like not handsome, so to speak, in like the show or whatever. It's just so good. Every time I saw their back and forth, I was like, that's the kind of friendship I want. And I feel like me and Robo have that now. We're
Wow.
always dunking on each other.
We're friends.
For now.
Now you're talking TV history. Now what you have is for TV history for adults, and what James brought is for the kids. So I don't know what we would put first.
We're going everywhere.
We're going everywhere, yeah. Friends, I guess, are we saying Friends takes the first one? That seems more of a popular kind of historical piece of media than Sesame Street.
Right?
And better.
I'm putting.
Yeah.
I
What?
think Chandler and Joey are more iconic than Bert and Ernie.
Yeah, I agree.
You're crazy.
I disagree,
Here's the thing with
Okay.
Bert and Ernie. Okay, you get them started with a young age, and then because they become socialized to Bert and Ernie, everything becomes seen in society through the lens of Bert and Ernie as they grow
It's
up.
getting philosophical.
Wow.
Society is their
I would also argue, and maybe this is just because I didn't watch as much Friends, but like when I think of Bert and Ernie, it's Bert and Ernie, right?
Sure.
But when I think
Yeah.
of Friends, I don't specifically think of a duo in there. I think of the group
That's
of
true.
5.
2 out of 5 people here couldn't even tell you if they're from Sesame Street or Muppets.
Yeah, okay. So I guess you're putting the
That is-
Friends.
okay, fair enough.
Friends first for now, and then we'll put.
I'm gonna
Bert
go
and
with Bert and Ernie number 1.
Oh,
That's my
okay.
vote.
It's gonna get real hard the farther
Yeah.
into this we go.
Yeah.
All right, so this one, I almost forgot about this one, and then when I remembered, I was like, how could I possibly not think of this? But I'm gonna go with Mulder and Scully from the X-Files.
Oh,
Classic 90s mystery solving team, getting into the paranormal, just tearing it up. They had a
Another show
movie.
I
They had
watched.
TV shows.
Franchisable.
Mm-hmm.
I have only seen like random episodes of X-Files, so I don't know if I have the full picture of like.
And I've never
the
seen
duo.
it.
I just know the intro theme song.
Oh
Yeah, everyone. It's become such a meme now.
I think I have the.
What are defining hallmarks of the Mulder and Scully relationship?
Man, I mean, it's just like they were always together. Like it was sort of because like the whole premise of the X-Files is they're two FBI agents that are sent these like paranormal files, these cases that have been unsolved and usually are related to like ghosts or aliens or something, right? And so it's so often them like versus everyone else because they believe each other and they are like sort of in the trenches together while they're so it's always like them versus everyone else, including other FBI agents and their superior officers and all that. And then sometimes they maybe Mulder doesn't believe Scully or Scully doesn't believe Mulder. Some tension.
Tension
Wow.
between
Yeah.
the two. Okay.
Seems like there's higher stakes with these guys than someone like versus Bert and Ernie. They're just trying to see, hey, who stole the cookie from the
Bert
cookie
and
jar?
Ernie,
No.
Sticks and Bert and Ernie, you're kidding. They're constantly fighting. It's somehow you're always thinking, is today gonna be the day that they stop being roommates? Is today the day that they
man.
break up?
That being said, right off the bat, I feel like maybe they go in third because as soon as I said their names, everyone was like, I don't know anything about them. Who are these people? I'm feeling like I need to reevaluate my list
No, those
here.
are great. Those are great. I saw them on, and I was like, oh, those are good. I haven't seen too much of X-Files to
Yeah.
talk on the history, but
I just
they're
grew
iconic.
up watching it with my which you probably shouldn't have. I probably had one too many nightmares, but it was a pretty intense show.
I think there's something to be said where you said they're on film and movies.
Mhm.
The
Yeah, they
duo
had-
is so strong enough that you can have multiple seasons, but that's still not enough. And
Yeah.
you have
Yep.
the cachet to then make a film out of it.
Let's-
Mulder and
let's-
Scully as a
what-
duo, I think, is stronger than. Well, you know what? Dang, the whole children's TV show thing and like being like so ingrained in popular culture. When you say, "Hey, Bert and Ernie," they're like, "Yeah, I know who that is." You go, Mulder and Scully, they're like, "Were those the retired cops from Brooklyn Nine-Nine?"
That's true. That's true.
I do like this list so far because we have like one that's like really for kids, and you have like Friends that's like for adults, but it's so lighthearted, and then there's like
Yeah.
X-Files, which is like
Right.
adults, kids don't watch this or you'll cry.
Number 4, a group of 2 murderers.
Yeah, it's gonna get more and more intense as we go. All right, I would be, drawn astray if I did not bring up a good buddy cop duo in this. So I'm gonna go with the bad boys, Mike and Marcus.
Nice.
Here we are. They set the scene right away in Miami. We're in Florida. They put that really orange glow over everything, just so you know it's really hot outside. And you got the spray bottles of sweat going down. They're exterminators at one point. They blow up houses. They go on car chases. They infiltrate nightclubs. They got the ladies. They got whatever they want. And these are the bad boys themselves are probably my favorite on-screen duo of movies. Now they have 2 movies. I don't like to talk about the third one. That one was that was a big miss for him.
Emphasis on the bad.
Emphasis on the bad.
Do you think they belong in number 1 on this list right now?
I think they are not as iconic as Bert and Ernie, but to me, they're more iconic than Chandler and Joey. But it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
I understand.
I would put them maybe above Mulder and Scully only if who has more successful cases here, huh? Who's getting the job done?
Well,
Seems like Mulder and Scully.
have 11
Yeah,
seasons.
exactly. That's what I'm
They
saying.
have
Yeah.
a lot of volume.
What do you guys think?
I was just saying I haven't really seen the Bad Boys. Like I feel like I've seen one of the movies maybe on TV, but I'm not familiar enough with the franchise to argue against it as a
Sure.
whole. Like I know the franchise, but I don't. I have no stake in this race.
Snow Vincent, I'm gonna come at you with a different buddy cop duo, and it's gonna knock your socks off.
I can't wait.
Okay, so here we go. It seems like we're doing some heavy hitters. So I was like, am I gonna go obscure? I'm going crazy. This is it. Doc and Marty, Back to the Future. I still think one of the greatest trilogies of all time. And you're talking time travel. You're talking, when you think of 80s iconography, it's Doc and Marty with the Nike dunks. You got the jacket, the Marty, we have to go back. They never really were at odds with each other. I think they were always helping each other. And at the end of the day, the story is Marty's trying to keep Doc alive for that first one, essentially, right, in a way, and, fix his wrongdoings. And that old man had no right to help that kid, but he helped him with his family, and in turn, he helped him get a family in the third movie. So, I mean, what's better than family, right?
I'm convinced. Number 1.
Okay, John.
There we go.
Something to be said with the relationship between the two, right? It's not. I'm gonna put this out there as like a thought. It's not just the name. Like if you just say these names, how popular is it? It's what is the relationship between these two? What are they
Sure.
doing together? What are they experiencing? Are they growing? Are they evolving? Are they strengthening their relationship? And in that case, I think Doc and Marty is higher than Bert and Ernie. How strong really is Bert and Ernie's relationship?
Bert and Ernie is
Hold on, Bert and
arcless. There's no arc to
Yes.
the characters. They start
Exactly.
and end exactly the same. It's like an Always Sunny in Philadelphia thing.
They-
where
they
they're
have it.
always the same people.
They don't
Something
grow
to digest.
together.
Huh? Something to
Sure.
digest.
I think we have to rethink
Okay.
everything now. We have to
This
rethink
is-
these.
I think Doc and Marty have a shot at least for number 2, because I also think Doc and Marty were sort of an archetype that kind of followed to modern popular culture, especially as seen through like something like Rick and Morty, in
Yeah.
which you have like the older scientist, crazy scientist figure, and you have the young antsy definitely has their own ambitions in mind. This is like my artsy answer, but
I'm not
I
gonna
think it's
judge.
gotta be what?
I said I'm not gonna judge you. I promise.
No, you're not, because
Okay.
you're gonna think, why didn't I think of this? And that's because the duo is Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson as Rusty Cole and Marty Hart in True Detective season 1.
What a deep cut.
So
But like, I just wanted that reaction from Vincent.
It's
It's a
just,
great show.
it's
Maybe
just
one
an
of the best
inside
seasons
joke
of
between
TV.
them
Okay.
two right now.
It's
Have you guys
it's
seen
their
True Detective
career-
season 1?
No, but I've heard
I-
great things.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
on the
just
list
like
of many
same.
things we just don't
I've
watch.
heard-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the best seasons of television. For both of these actors, probably they're both of their best roles. And-
Here's my issue with this, James. I'm gonna fire
Okay.
it right away so you can, you gotta hit back. I would argue that they're not iconic at all compared to any of these characters, although
Sure.
they might have some of the best chemistry.
This is the tension with this pick, is that they're some of the best duos, even if they're not the most iconic. Their whole dynamic, for those of you who aren't familiar, is they start off kind of as polar opposites. They're kind of presented as, where like Matthew McConaughey is very like meticulous, very like kind of by the book, and then Woody Harrelson is very kind of like, loose cannon, bad cop, don't know what he's gonna do. But then as the season goes on, you start to realize, oh, both of these characters are kind of up in their own ways. So you can't be like, oh yeah, this guy's good and this guy's bad. There's no, the lines start to blur a little bit, and they start to be in more conflict with each other, and how they look at how they, because Matthew McConaughey is so philosophical, as in Woody Harrelson is just kind of living like the average but also fucked up like American life of like, he has a kid but he's having an affair with his wife, that sort of thing.
It's crazy because you just described mine and Robert's relationship. Wild.
Oh my goodness.
Spot on.
Crazy. How come we
Nailed
don't
it.
have a TV show?
Yeah. Put us on this list. No.
Did they
great.
come back for season 2?
They did, but it's different actors. It's a different story,
Ah,
different actor
okay,
thing.
well then there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, one season only.
that's true.
There you go.
Hmm.
We're talking about the top 10 duos.
Right.
Oh man, one season you're out.
As much as I love them, I don't think they're in the top 5.
Oh,
You're crazy.
okay, I guess we're putting them number 6.
Okay. So the Chandler and Joey dynamic didn't really work here. Totally fine. I guess I gravitate towards picking out a duo in a group. I have a lot of those on my list. But if I have to pick something where kind of like we're thinking it's kind of transcends or something like that, I'm gonna go with Seth and Evan from Superbad.
Oh,
Guys
oh.
remember Superbad? It was
Yeah.
like iconic for growing up. Like when we were growing up, like when we saw this movie, I'm pretty sure all of us were like, "Holy crap, this is incredible!"
Yeah.
This is like our high school, like it's high school to a T.
Mhm.
The friendships, the conversations that Seth and Evan had, just nailed it, right?
Yeah.
And you had growth. These two guys like just came out of nowhere and kind of just stole like a chunk of our mindset for years. When that movie came out, they were doing this thing like that. Somebody was standing outside of the AMC saying, "Hey, you guys want to see a movie?" One of those guys,
Huh?
Mhm.
and it just said Superbad. We knew nothing about this, but me and my friends from high school were like, you know what, whatever, let's just go watch the movie. So we like got the tickets or whatever, and we watched the movie, and we were just blown away. We're like, this is a hidden gem that no one's gonna know about. We proceeded to watch it two
Yeah.
more times in the span of 2 weeks, and we were just laughing. We were quoting everything all the time. It was just one of those just like culturally like huge moments.
Yeah.
And I think these two guys together like don't get credit nowadays because I like now that like style of movie and that type of like script and conversation is so common now. But
Yeah.
back then, seeing just like a perfect kind of high school movie where the language and the cadences was all there. It wasn't just like a sappy 80s type of high
Yeah.
school show. It was like this is exactly what high school's like.
Yeah.
I think it was just absolute perfect, and Seth and Evan together were just perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
I know people might say it's a trio with McLovin, but McLovin just kind of just slides.
No,
in.
yeah, he's in there. Yeah, he's that third wheel.
Hangs out with
Yeah.
Seth
Just
Rogen,
yeah.
and Bill Hader.
Yeah.
later on.
Now, Robert, I think you're
Story
onto
of Seth and
something.
Evan.
You're onto something here because out of all these 6 here, I'm not seeing any of these on which I can call back memories of my life on. But I tell you what, in Superbad, there are times when you're trying to get to that party or see that girl or get with that friend. I don't know. So there are different moments. I can't say what specifically, but you know what I mean. Like
Legal reasons I cannot disclose.
no.
sections of that
You know what I
movie.
mean? Like, I tell you what, I haven't gone back in time or seen an alien. You know, Robert, I'm with you on this one.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Number 3. It's
I
number
also
3.
think number 3.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
That's a great one.
Man, this has been such a hard list to make because there's like duos that are like iconic overall, like for everybody, and then there's duos that are like iconic for me growing up.
Yeah.
So it's hard to pick. So I'm gonna try to pick one that hits sort of both of those. Another TV and movie hitter, Keenan and Kel.
Oh,
from
hell
all
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Keenan and Kel.
Ooh.
Great dude. Good
Awesome.
Burger movie. Who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda.
Like, what's the most iconic one that comes? Or I guess the show. Like, is there a skit from the show or
Whole
something that you?
show,
I mean, just anytime they're in Good Burger together, that's kind
Yeah.
of because that's what they made the whole movie off of Good Burger too.
Right.
So probably that specific one.
I remember watching the show all the time as a kid. Just that even that intro sequence where they're just on stage, like you kind of get the feeling it's a skit or whatever, and then he's like, "I have an idea. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, and
grab
this.
this,
Go
and
grab
this.
that. Go grab that. Go grab that." He walks
I
out.
think-
And he's like,
Yeah.
"Keenan,
Kel.
no, is it Kel? Keenan, what do you mean? What do you want? Where am I supposed to get a duck from, Keenan? I don't know where to get a duck. Oh, here goes." And he runs off.
It would
I
start,
freaking
yep.
love that.
This brings up a good point. Every great duo has to have the idea person, and I feel like Keenan and
true.
Kel. There's like a great idea person.
Yeah.
Duo has the straight man and the I don't know what the technical term is of that other the funny guy.
The loose cannon guy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, something like
Yeah.
that.
I'll do it. I'll go with it or whatever. Yeah.
Right, and I think this is a great example of that too. As well as when we talk about like Bert and Ernie, they're like the same
Ernie.
character.
That's true.
No, they're
Who's
not.
the
Get him
idea?
out of here.
It's a bunch of
They're
the
not
same. It's a bunch of the same.
character at all.
Ernie still bathes with a damn rubber ducky. Get him out of here.
Wrong with the
Oh
rubber duck.
my god.
Get this guy out of here. I mean, you're talking comedic genius too. Like out of this whole list here that we have, I'll always side with comedy or kind of the positive side of entertainment because that's what we like to enjoy, right?
Vincent said there's a good like back and forth with them. It's kind of like I put this on my list, but I'm not bringing it up. Like Abbott and Costello, like a really old school
Yeah.
comedy
Yeah.
duo, has the serious one and the funny one and like the goofball, and that was like Keenan and Kel to a T.
Right.
It was a perfect combination.
I would put this one under Chandler and Joey because I feel like for comedy, the Friends is more of an icon.
This is a tough one because I have a couple like movies that were like really big, but they're more obvious duos. So I want to go for one that is like a little more, it's special to me, but still has broad. Have you guys seen Parks and Recreation?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for John Ralphio and Tom Haverford.
Oh,
I
damn,
think
good.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
good.
I think that these two, it breaks the mold. It drops the idea of these, like, you know, the straight guy, the guy that's like he's everything by the books, that kind of thing.
You just
Instead,
have two loose cannons.
you got two idea guys, and it just gets crazier and crazier. And
Because
so
all
every-
those ideas come to fruition with
Exactly.
Yep. They don't say no to anything. They
Yeah,
just go-
exactly.
literally nothing. So like Entertainment 720 being my like one of my favorite episodes is where they have this whole thing where they get, you know, the basketball stars. They're trying to like do a video tribute to little Sebastian at one point. I mean, they're like everything in there just like gets more and more like, why are you guys doing this? I love it. They were like immediately my first pick when it came to favorite duos.
I love it too because like, you know, talking about the dynamics of friendships here, like they are both idea men, but there's something like really supportive and kind of nice about it because even like more so from Tom's side, but like there's times when he's like, maybe this is a bad idea, but you know what? Yes, let's do it because that's what you want to do and we're going to do it. Yeah, I believe in you.
Exactly.
It's hard to tell which one is actually more iconic because like with John Ralphio, it's like it's more recent, so it's in
Yeah.
our mind. But is that like Keenan and Kel was like you go
That's
into any high school in like early 2000, and I
Right.
would be hard pressed to not find somebody that knows all that, or you know.
Hmm.
But now I don't know.
Right.
It's tricky. It's
On an iconic scale, John Ralphio and Tom Hanks probably lower, much
Yeah.
lower than Keenan and Kel.
No, yeah, the recency bias is still there. I think I'm with it, with the having Keenan and Kel higher. All right, we got some good comedy on here. We got some good drama. I'm gonna go ahead and go with something I think is action, and I think is again more recent, but something that I think is very powerful here, and that's gonna be Django and Dr. King Schultz from Django Unchained, Quentin Tarantino film. Have we all seen this movie? I hope.
I've seen the start of it, but I wasn't able to finish it.
Okay. So basically, I'll give a little rundown. Django is a slave in the 1800s, and Dr. King Schultz is played by Christoph Waltz. And he kind of frees him, and kind of almost for no reason at all, well, somewhat revenge, frees him and takes him on his way, makes him a free man, and they go on kind of a revenge plot trying to kill the slave owners that has Django's wife. It goes for a very violent Quentin Tarantino movie, but man, Christoph Waltz.
Love a good revenge arc.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is pretty beautiful because they well, I won't spoil it for you guys, but I was literally about to spoil it. I'm sorry.
This one's tough because to me, not very iconic.
No.
But Django is not originally from Tarantino.
No, yeah.
Like, that was
That's a show.
Those were older movies in the 70s. They
Yeah.
had a bunch of Django movies.
Oh, I didn't know that at all.
And
That's
I didn't know
insane.
that either.
Film
That's-
class
see,
thing.
that's tough.
Yeah, I could call out the iconography from the originals, but like the theme song is the same as the originals. That's kind of some little connection there. It's not iconic, but there's definitely a lot of meat to their dynamic. I think there's nothing better than
I feel like it would be in the same category as Rusty Cole and Marty Hart.
Yeah.
Like in the same arena of like really good quality, but not super like influential, maybe in their own rights, but not like recognizable.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, because there are a couple, like for me, like, you know, I haven't seen True Detective, but I know True Detective, and I haven't
Right,
seen
yeah.
all of Django, but I know that movie. You know,
Mm-hmm.
That is a evidence for some sort of iconic status when you know
Yeah.
about a
from.
duo without even watching
Mhm.
the show.
A new piece of evidence has arisen in my mind for one of my picks that I hope might change some stuff.
I think my pick would have changed if I viewed it originally when making this through the lens of
Iconicness.
iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of some of them are meaningful to us, I guess, individually, right?
All right. Number one, we have Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street. Number two, we have Doc and Marty from Back to the Future. Number three, we have Seth and Evan from Superbad. Number four, we have Chandler and Joey from Friends. Number five, we have Keenan and Kel from the Keenan and Kel Show and Good Burger. We have Mulder and Scully as number six, Jean Ralphio and Tom Haverford from Parks and Rec as number seven, Mike and Marcus from Bad Boys as number eight, Rusty Cole and Marty Hart from True Detective Season 1 as number 9, and Django and Dr. Schultz from Django Unchained as number 10.
Does anybody have a burning piece of evidence they want to bring to the table?
I do.
Go
Let's
for
hear
it.
I have one for. Mine are both right next to each other, and I have one piece of evidence to just flip them. but-
You could do that. I could flip this whole list around right now.
Oh,
with one pick,
no.
and I believe it. I want to make
Let's do
Vincent put his face into his hand at least 3 more times.
I'm just like, oh, the editing.
And that
oh.
is maybe one of the most iconic duos in modern and classic television. Will Smith and Carlton Banks from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Nice.
Put your face in your hands, Vincent. Put them.
That's a great one. Bring it up.
Oh, I was just gonna
Oh,
say
that's
maybe
fine.
flip Keenan and Kel and Mulder and Scully, only because like me and Robert both watched a lot of Keenan and Kel, and we can quote it and sing the songs,
Yeah.
whatever. But it's because we watched it. However, like Mulder and Scully, Robert even said, I haven't watched that show, but I know the theme song.
Yeah.
We've all seen memes from the show. You know,
Yeah, instantly when you said Keenan and Kel, I was like, oh, yeah, no, yeah. Go to keyboard, Google search. No, unfortunately, I'm sorry.
My one piece of iconic evidence that I want to bring in for the Bad Boys is that I don't see anybody on this list that has a Fortnite skin. Okay, but the Bad Boys
Get out of here with the
Fortnite
Fortnite.
skins. Come on, that's a new level of iconic. This right there.
How does Bert and Ernie not have a Fortnite?
I know. Actually,
That's what I'm saying.
Honestly, I give it 5 years. All of these people will have a Fortnite skin. Straight up. All 10.
But okay. Counterpoint to what you said. Do both of them have a Fortnite? Do they each have a skin? Or is it like the main character or whatever? You know?
I believe Mike and Marcus have Fortnite skins. It
Okay.
might.
Then damn.
Does Marcus have
Even
one? James,
doubles
are you
them.
on it?
No.
It looks like it's only Will Smith.
Okay, I rescind my statement. Hate to see it.
That means Will
Honestly, though,
Smith is the
great-
real icon.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
That's true.
The Carlton dance is in Fortnite.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Okay.
The
This is-
dance is
this
more
is-
popular than Carlton.
so Fortnite
Wow, yeah.
should be
What
on
is
the
called
list.
the
Is what we're
Right.
saying.
Fortnite.
Duos matches.
Oh, man. This is getting way out of
Duos
proportion.
in Fortnite. Yeah,
I'm ready for honorable mentions now.
I'm ready for honorable mentions.
So when
Yeah.
you say that, you're not saying like say something to then replace something up there. Just just
No,
any-
we're just
okay.
throwing.
Please
the
want
numbers.
to yeah. Because I just wanted to say my two. So I had two others. Have any of y'all seen Game of Thrones? I was gonna say The Hound and Arya Stark. Them two had a little
Good.
little duo action,
good.
as well as Chris Farley and David Spade. Really in anything from SNL as well as their films for Tommy Boy, Bad Sheep. They did a lot of some of my favorite comedy of all time, and
Actor duos would be a whole different list.
Yeah,
too,
that's a
of,
whole
like
other-
just
Yeah.
the two actors that are in different things, different characters.
Related to SNL, one that I did not mention, but started as an SNL sketch, and then
Sketch?
became a movie was the Blues Brothers, Jake and Elwood.
oh yes,
Oh,
what a great
yeah.
movie.
Just
Yeah.
so
What a mission
God, that
from
was
God.
love
That's
them.
good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Real quick, the two I had from movies, since we're doing movies. Lee and Carter from Rush Hour.
Oh yes,
I
those are
wrote
great.
that down as one of mine too. That I didn't.
Oh, those are great.
Nice.
That's great.
Love their dynamic so much because the way they would always make fun of each other is just reminds me of how like best friends would always
Yeah.
bag on each other for everything,
Mhm.
literally
Mhm.
everything, and like
Right.
you never took it to heart. It was just like you're just dunking on each other for fun.
Yeah.
And also Harry and Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber, just because
Sure.
forget
Yeah.
about that movie.
Yeah.
One other that I feel like we can't even make this list without at least mentioning, but they were like so iconic and then disappeared. It was Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen because they were
yes.
just like
Right.
everywhere,
Yeah.
and then now you see like
Nowhere.
you know the sister, but now
Yeah,
they're kind of like
Lucy, yeah.
I don't know what they're doing now.
I'd say like iconic, but just not influential.
Hmm.
Number one being Jerry and George Costanza from Seinfeld,
That's
and then number
iconic. It's a
two,
good one.
and number
Good one.
two
That's a good
being Abed Nadir and Troy
Oh
Barnes.
hell yeah! I had that on my list.
Troy and Abed in
Yeah.
the morning.
Morning.
God, Community's such a good show.
One of my favorites.
Yeah,
It's
solid.
great.
The
Incredible.
first 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Where's
On
the
that
movie?
on that front, Turk and JD from Scrubs. As
Yes.
Yeah.
I put down Top Gun, Goose and Maverick, but I was like, it's too on the
Oh,
nose right
yeah.
now. It is great, and it's iconic enough to where they did a sequel however many years
Yeah.
later.
Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah.
That's a pretty great duo.
Just start thinking of random Lilo and Stitch. No, just
Okay, yeah.
Bumblebee and
other
Op.
one that-
Jerry.
The other one that I
Tom and
really
Jerry
like
is
that
iconic.
is like not iconic as much is Point Break, Johnny Utah and Bodie, Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze.
Mm.
I love that movie, and that's like iconic to me, but definitely not iconic in the grand scheme of things. That's just like a
Yeah.
little 80s movie.
I didn't want to say it just because I felt like it was too obvious, but it was Batman and Robin.
Oh no, that's
Yeah.
great. That is like
It's
probably
solid.
the most iconic, maybe.
Yeah, like but it's like
Yeah.
it feels like using a
Shut
cheat
it
code.
Yeah. What about Mr. Miyagi and Danny?
Yep, great
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
All
All right, guys, grab some coffee. This list is going long. Top 50, dude.
Top
Optimus Prime and Megatron.
Oh,
Just a
man.
huge
Oxygen and my lungs.
Yes.
Great duo together.
Getting
Left
crazy.
eye,
Left
right
shoe
eye.
and right shoe.
Chris and Robert from Co-op. No,
My
it's-
right hand and my left hand.
Oh.
And cut.
And that's the video. There you have it.
Clip it
Boom,
out.
Ready for coming
demonetized.
out,
No. Let us know what you guys think in the comments on this list, if it makes sense or not. I guess Robert, where can everybody find you on social media?
Hit us up on
Co-op.
I'm at COOP COME.
Keep going. Keep going.
No, yeah,
Why I was
I
thinking
like
it.
dot
I don't know why I'm
COME.
singing it.
No, wait, no, that's COM. Yeah, no, we'll have everything linked down below for all the socials, all the Twitters and Twitches and YouTubes. It'll be all down there, so you guys can check them out. Yeah, thank you guys for hopping on.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, man. This is great.
Thank
Yeah,
you
I
guys.
had such a
Appreciate
fun
it.
time.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for being on. Thanks everybody for watching. Hope you had a fun time as we rank some of the best duos in film history. We see you guys very soon for another video here on the channel. Thanks for watching and have a good one.